Hi everybody. Thanks for joining me today while I work on this pretty little project. This is a canvas that I did with some of my special techniques. And I wanted to paint on this for you. Let's see. So is it 12, 11? I just wanted to see if this is popping up. I'm trying to get this. Can anyone hear me? Is there anyone there? Let's see, there we go. Okay, so I wanted to get more of the this in the view, because yesterday we didn't really have, or the day before, we didn't really get much of a view here. So this piece is one, I decided I'm gonna paint some flowers on here, and I've just been pulling some pieces back from my basement and trying to see what I could do. The first thing I'm gonna do, I wanna show you, I love this palette paper. So if you have been looking for some good palette paper, this is one by Strathmore. It's just Strathmore palette paper. I really love it. It's, you know, you can use a paper plate, but this just has a big, wide area, and I really love using it. It helps me see the colors that I mix. What I'm gonna do today, make sure the sound is completely off on this. I'm gonna use just this little brush. This is a little flat brush, number 4, and I'm gonna use titanium white and start painting some flowers on here. So I thought I would just do that for you. If you are here in the chat today, I would love to hear, I would love to see, I'd love to see you say hi. I want to show you, if I can, how I do this. I guess you can use anything, but one thing I try to do is, there's a natural flow right here, you can see, and so I'm going to put the flowers pretty much along this edge, trying not to obscure anything that seems like it would be too pretty to cover up. And you know, I probably will end up covering some things up that are really pretty, but that's okay. So basically what I'm doing is just trying to get some little natural flower shapes. One thing that's fun, there's a lot of contrast here, so if let me see if I can bring you in a little bit closer. That I could actually, the light white flowers against the dark contrast make a pretty little contrast, and that's always fun. And these petals are gonna, you know, they're just real free formed. I'm not trying to do anything too special. These, maybe some of them have 4 petals. Maybe some of them have a little under petal with this little side petal that we don't see. And I want them to be a lot of different sizes as well. So maybe we have some smaller ones. Maybe we have some bigger ones like this. And again, not trying to make anything too perfect, because that is not how nature is. This would also have been a pretty underwater a seascape, I guess. I'm gonna put these in like little clusters. So maybe this has like a little cluster here. And I'm just basically pressing down and lifting up. I'm not doing anything too miraculous. And then maybe we have some little tiny baby, like, let's look at where this flow is. What if, let's see, we have a few up here that are just some little baby ones. Maybe this is farther away, in which case they might be smaller. Hi, Linda. She says, hi, Heather, with the magic brush. It's funny because yesterday my friend Carrie was saying, oh, I watched your video like 4 times in the last 2 days and I could just watch you paint. And I think I've always been scared to do these videos of my flowers because I'm worried that people would be bored, because it's just a lot of repetition, and I'm not even sure if I can teach you anything, but sometimes it is nice just to watch someone paint, I suppose. There's lots of people I just like watch painting and seeing their little process. But yeah, so we have maybe some smaller little flowers up here. Maybe they're just little hints of a flower. Maybe it's just a petal. Maybe it's just a couple petals here and there. I'm gonna put some branches all coming along here, and I do really like these little white flecks too, so I might put a few more of those in there. It seems natural to me. To you, does it? I feel this is not, painting with a brush has been very intimidating for me. If you look at some of my very first pours that I did, and I tried to do brush painting on it, they were not amazing. They were, okay. Okay, so I think we have like a good little base. I can always add a few little flowers here and there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. So that sounds weird, but I always kind of want to have an odd number because our eyes love odd numbers. And also I've learned it's good to have space, right? So there's some space, some place for your eye to rest. And then there's also, places for our eyes to follow. You just want that kind of natural line. I love, this is like a Fibonacci spiral situation where we have like 3/4 space, and yeah, I really love this piece. This piece will be available when I'm done painting it too, by the way, just in case anyone wants to know. Let me find my liner brush. I'm gonna find this is the Bob Ross script liner number 2. I really like this one. And for the branches, we're gonna put Burnt Umber Light. Hi, Bonnie. My background. Bonnie says, where did you get your painting background? Well, I'll tell you the story, and I'd love to tell the story because I rarely tell it, so thank you for asking. I'm gonna use some of that too. One day I was on Facebook and I saw a video of Elise Fournier. If you don't know who she is, you should look her up. And she was pouring paint from a cup. And I thought to myself, Heather, you could do that because that looks easy. Well, the funny part about that is it's really hard. And yeah, it's really, really hard. And so the next, I don't know, whatever time frame, I ended up just trying to pour paint from a cup, and I started on paper, and I started, it was really more challenging than I ever imagined. So having said that, over the next, few months, I started showing my results on Facebook, and someone said, hey, you should show your process. And I thought, maybe I should show my process. Well, I said, I really don't have the equipment for that. So I don't know, like, I'm not sure if I will show my process or not, because that seems, you know, I don't have the equipment. Someone said, oh, you should put a GoFundMe. And then I said, okay, like a GoFundMe for like the paint, the, you know, the things that I would need to share my process. And I thought, okay, I'll try that. So I did, and it only took like 4 days. And then in 4 days, I had all the money I needed to buy all of this lights and everything I needed for my YouTube channel. And then I thought, oh crap, I'm actually gonna have to do this, because now I've been truly challenged and I actually have to follow through. I am a woman of my word. Like, that's one thing, if you know about me, if I said I'm gonna do something, I'll actually do it. So then I was like, oh no. So then I've learned about YouTube, and I figured out how to do a channel, and started posting my progress. And then I started posting a lot. I posted 4 videos a week for the first year, 6 to 8 months, at least a year. And that was brutal. It really was. And I learned how to edit, and I learned how to do pour painting. And yeah, that's how that started. And then that's really my background in terms of painting. And that was like 4.5 years ago or so. Well, I got tired of pouring, because it's kind of the same thing over and over and over again. And I know a lot of people are able to just keep pouring and pouring, and it is fun, but I literally am not that person. I'm a chef by nature, and I'm not that person to cook the same things over and over again. It's just not who I am. So that's what happened with that. And then I just kept going, and I tried a bunch of different other mediums. I tried, you know, mixed media and alcohol inks, which I actually have a pretty affinity for those, but I couldn't tolerate them. I even tried oils, and I couldn't really tolerate the mixing, the mixables for the oils either. It was pretty harsh. So, yeah, there was that. And then that's just kind of how that came to be. I'm not a professional, like professionally trained, but like I tell everyone, once you get paid for your work, and I've probably made 500 paintings and sold them, then you're a professional now. So, okay, and so we're just basically making a little branch that goes all the way up here, and that's what we're doing. So thank you for asking me how I got started, and I love telling the story, because it's actually quite amazing if you think about. I just started by seeing a painter do something that I thought looked really easy, and it actually was really hard. Yeah. Okay. So here's just like the basics of the branches. We can always go in. We're going to probably go in and add more little branches here and there, and but this gives like a starting place, I guess. And then I'm going to add the leaves in too. So just so you can get like a really good little picture of it. Let me turn it to the side here. And look how pretty. Yeah. Just making sure you can see. Yeah, okay. So now we have the starting point for that, and you can kind of see all I'm doing really is dragging my brush through the dark Van Dyke brown first, and then a little bit of the other colors. It ends up looking really natural, and you don't have to be perfect, but real branches are not just one color, so this definitely helps. And I'm going to add a little bit more of a shadow on this one down here. And then there's something else you can do. I don't know if you saw my live yesterday or the day before, but I did talk about how you add the shadows to this. I'll probably do this. And maybe I'll just paint this whole thing. I don't know. If you guys are enjoying watching, Bonnie says thanks for sharing. Thank you, Bonnie. And anyone else has any questions for me, I'm here. We're just painting together, so. I'm going to use this brush. This is a triangle brush. It's by a silver ruby satin 2515S, and it was about $12. It's not too expensive. And then I'm going to start putting some greens in here. Now the thing about this is there's a lot of blue and turquoise, so not a ton of greens are going to show up. Whoops. This is the Green Gold by Golden, and that was chromium oxide green. And then we need a dark green, which I love this sap green hue. One thing I do love about this painting versus pour painting is look at the small amounts of paint I'm using. And I don't care what you say, even when you're doing pouring, you just use so much more paint. It's just no doubt about it. All right, I'm doing the same thing with this. I'm dragging my brush through a few different colors. And then these are kind of smaller flowers, so I have to be more careful about the leaves in this one than I was yesterday, because I don't want to overtake the painting with these leaves, but let's see. And you want them to come from all different angles, basically. And there, now we have some fresh leaves. Well, people's attention spans are really short these days. Like, if you're not just doing something incredibly dazzling, people just don't watch. I noticed. Back in the day, when I used to do a live and have hundreds of people there, and it was really fun, but I know pouring was really why they were there. And it was hard when I changed and started doing something different. It was hard for people, I know. They didn't necessarily maybe resonate with my new mediums and stuff, and that's okay, because I have to do what I have to do to make myself happy. Oops, let's put a little bit more of a pop of color in there. I'm just adding some little Titan. Whoops, that's a little bit of the Titan buff. And like I said, I don't want to overwhelm this piece with a ton of huge leaves. I'm going to do these and then also probably add some little tiny leaves as well. Let me turn this down a little bit and see if we actually get less reflection. I don't know, I was trying to see if that looks better on here. I don't know. Is there anybody watching? Is anyone there? Say hi if you're there. I would love to hear from you. Do you have any questions for me? I'm kind of an open book right now. I'm just here for you. And that's literally true, because I could just paint this on my own. I don't can't really say I make money off YouTube anymore. But hi Anna, thank you for saying hello. Thank you. I appreciate you. Okay, look at these pretty flowers. We're just working through, adding some little leaves. Now I need to start making some of these leaves smaller. Now look, this one, for example, it is just magical, this brush. Look how it looks like this one is curled over and the light is kind of hitting it in a different way. I just love this brush for this reason. It creates the most beautiful effects. I feel like I don't even have to do anything to get these amazing little effects, you know? And I mean, obviously I've practiced a little bit, but hi Anna, thank you. Yes, thank you for being here. I feel like I don't have to do too much to get these pretty effects. Ooh, gotta make sure I'm not putting my painting in the paint there. So here, these little leaves, oops. And then I'm going to come in with a smaller brush too. This is like, I'm really pushing it with this big brush here. But even, see, you can see, even the tip you can use to create some pretty leaves with this brush. Maybe I don't have to actually. I'm kind of surprised. I feel like painting is always a learning process for me too, and every time I do it, I still learn something about the paints or myself or yeah, it's always amazing to me, the whole thing. That's so relaxing too. It's a rainy day here. I had an unexpected day off from my real job as a chef. I shouldn't say my real job, but the job that pays the bills. This is not the one that pays the bills, but it is fun. And then we just need a few more flower or a few more little leaves in here, I think. Some greenery. Look how pretty. Okay, I'm gonna back you up so you can really see the whole thing, hopefully. Let's see. Can you see the whole thing? We just did that together, just like this. Isn't that crazy? Okay. So now, let's say I have to paint the sides, so that's something that still has to happen with this. But let's say I want to add some more pop to here. What if we add, I really am enjoying using the iridescent gold fine and putting some beautiful dots in the center. Hi Veronica Jones. How are you today? I like to use these little dotting tools. These are just dotting tools. Some have bigger tips on them and some have smaller. So for the bigger flowers, I might use the bigger tips, and I'm just gonna add some little, let me bring you back in here so you can see. I'll add a few of the big dots and a few of the small dots to the bigger flowers here. So maybe 3, and then I'll switch to the other side and add a couple, maybe, I always want an odd number of everything, so probably 5 little dots in the center. And that odd number thing, that really is valuable to know. If you ever have if you're making a vase, you should do 3, 7, 9, 11 flowers of the main flowers. Like, let's say if you have a bunch of little flowers around, it's not as important, but you should always try to have an odd number. This is so pretty. I'm like loving this. I'm trying to figure out if I should do the sides in gold. Is that what I should do? Or what do you guys think? Should I do the sides in gold, or should I paint the sides like a turquoise? I don't know. Let me know in the comments what you think, if I should paint the sides in this gold color. And I might do some little splatters of gold too. I'm going to show you how I do that. So here we have this. Oh, it's so magical. See, it didn't take that long. Once you have the background done, it just doesn't take as long. The brush number in my post, Bonnie's asking, will you put the brush number in your post? Oh, yes, this one. It's weird because it doesn't have a brush number on it. Or let's see. Is it the one I just said? Just in case I forget, I want you guys to know. It's 2515S triangle brush. The company name is Silver Ruby Satin. And this is the craziest looking brush. It's a triangle shape, but it works so well. And I really love that to create these little leaves. And I think it does, I could see fairies in there for sure. So, okay, now I'm gonna do a few little gold spatters. The way I do that is I take the gold paint that I had on here. I use a liner brush and I get this pretty wet. So golden fluids are already, fluid obviously, but I just get this pretty wet to the point where when I spatter it like that, it makes all these little spatters. And then I'm just gonna probably try to avoid this part. I'm gonna put a little napkin over the top. So I just want to preserve some of that. And then I'm just gonna put some little, whoops, of course I'm getting my computer and my phone. They also make, if you don't want to use the liner brush, which I do enjoy it, I make this little fan brush, which is fun to do with that. So now we have, just a lot of little spatters and pretty gold. I'm just loving the whole look of this. Bonnie, you think turquoise? I'm wondering about the turquoise. So let's just experiment. Here's one thing, I was thinking, what if I took the gold and mixed it with some of the turquoise? This is phthalo turquoise, which is absolutely a stunning color when it comes to golden fluids. I think it's one of their prettiest colors. But what if I mix these two together? Look at that. What if that's the sides? Let's see what that looks like. And then we still get, let's see, that's as far as I can go. Oh, I can lift you guys up though. Let's just see if I can, paint some of this. It is pretty, isn't it? But it is really, really, really bright compared to the rest of the painting. And it's transparent, so now that I'm looking at it, I'm like, I'm not sure if it's gonna actually cover. I think what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna show you one of my little tricks. So I look at the colors of the painting and what's basically already there. And in this case, I see a lot of Payne's gray, phthalo blue. I'm gonna grab some of those colors. Here's the phthalo blue red shade. I'm gonna put a little bit of that in there. The Payne's gray, where is it? Here we go. Some of the Payne's gray. Sorry I just don't have all my paints just out like that. But I'm actually just gonna grab some of that. While this other is still wet, by the way. And then it kind of gives it that dreamy quality anyway, because these two are mixing. And the gold is still gonna provide a lot of shimmer. So then we have maybe some of this sort of dreamy quality of these two beautiful tones mixing in together. I'll add a little, this is a little bit of phthalo I'm gonna add in there too. Some light brush strokes over the top to just kind of, and so now there's like a good transition between the top of this and the sides. Yeah, I think that's a good plan for this. Well, I'm gonna keep painting the sides, you guys. Thank you so much for being here. And of course, this painting is available if you see any of my paintings on, I'm on Facebook, or you see something on here that you love and want to make yours, you absolutely can. Just let me know. You can hit me up, heathermaderart@gmail.com is one way, or find me on Facebook, Instagram. I'm here. Ooh, she says, Bonnie says maybe a couple flowers on the side, and you're not wrong. It actually, see, I'm being lazy, but Bonnie, you're absolutely right. I could cheat some of these flowers over to the side, and maybe I will do that. If I do need to make sure this dries a little bit, because otherwise I'll end up with blue flowers. So, but it is pretty. I am liking how that's looking. It does need a little bit of darkness for sure though. But yeah. Anyway, thanks so much for being here, you guys. I appreciate you. And many blessings to all of you. Thanks for being here, and I'll talk to you soon.